Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Jacob Boone, and this is Getting the Arsenal. Right, so, first and foremost, what a cracking result that was. If you'd have told me that was going to be the result, I'd have bitten your hand off for one, and two, I probably wouldn't have fucking believed you. So it's going to be a busy old show, so let's get down to it. Obviously, I'll start off with a result. Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 0. Fantastic. Granted, we didn't play at home, but let's skirt past that. One of the things I want to start with is I don't understand all this negativity towards Martinez. Now, we sold him. I appreciate why he wanted to leave, and let's be honest, had we have not got rid of him, we might not have been in this whole spending nearly 60 million on two keepers situation in the first place. Martinez is a fantastic keeper, World Cup winner, Golden Glove winner. He is fantastic. So, let's maybe lay off Martinez a little bit. I mean, I'm all for banter, right at the end, fair play to you. But, I don't know. I've always really liked Martinez when he came in. He done a good job. So, I think the pressure first off was fantastic. First half, really early on, good pressure, hunting the balls down. We started the game really well. Partey, for me, early on, he was trying these long balls and it wasn't working. Everyone who was sort of clipping over the top, it was either too long or not enough, and it just weren't working for me. However, he did break the play up really well and he was good at winning the possession back and just doing what he should do. Win the ball back, play it off to somebody better. I know it sounds simple and stupid, but sometimes football is as easy as that. Martinez, throughout the game, made some fantastic saves, and he knows it himself because as soon as he makes this save, and albeit it's only a fingertip, but it was enough, tips the shot from Saka around the post and he gets up and celebrates like he scored a goal. And that's what I love about him. He plays heart on his sleeve, all for that. But he wasn't the only good save of the game, but we'll get to that. Another thing as well, Onana is such a powerful midfielder, and this is exactly why, to me, we should have fronted up the extra, 15 mil that we've now just paid on top of Moreno's free. So I think we've got Moreno, all right, if you're going to be completely honest, about 17 mil, because I think we've got him for 33 million. I'd have been a lot happier seeing Onana come through the door, as he's younger, he's bigger, and to me, he's got more potential to get even better than Mikel Moreno, who, all right, he played at Newcastle, he knows what the Premier League's about, but to me, Onana's the one, and he showed that throughout the game. I thought it was fantastic. It's just so strong. And he's massive as well. Had a few chances, and again, we'll get on to that. So, we were lucky as well. Gabriel got caught in possession. I think he obviously thought he had a lot more time. Not like him, really. But let's be honest, all the top players do make mistakes. They're not invincible. So it does happen. And we're lucky that Watkins couldn't really sort his feet out. Really, it should have been a goal. It should have been 1-0 Villa. To me, that was the best game that Partey's had for us in an Arsenal shirt in a very, very long time, if not ever, in that first half. Saliba was just absolutely incredible. Throughout the game, his first half performance was so good, which he carried on in the second half. So, Declan Rice as well, to me, was fantastic. The ball he played to release Havertz was fantastic as well. You should remember the one I mean. We're breaking quite quickly. He clips it in behind from so deep, and Havertz, I think they must have thought Havertz was offside, but his run started pretty late, and he was White was onside in the end of it, but Havertz's pass just kind of let him down a bit, which is a bit disappointing. I loved as well the handbags between Saliba, McGinn and White. All of that shithousery for me, again, is what football's all about. I love that sort of shit, That, to me, is the sort of stuff you see at my level, playing Saturday, Sunday with your mates and sticking up for your mates, The fact that White just absolutely pelts the ball into Saliba is fantastic. So, got so much time for that. Rice's passing, I know I've already touched on it, but it's just unreal. So good. He, for me, I think a lot of people think for Rice, he's another one of them sort of players that just wins the ball back and plays it off. But He's got such a good range of passing, whether it's long, short, in behind. So yeah, his vision is superb. For me, Martinelli, he had a very, very quiet game. And this is kind of carried on from last season. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Trossard start the next game. I don't know what's going on with Martinelli. I really don't, whether he's a bit jaded as well from playing Copa America. I know he picked up an injury while he was out there. I don't think he got too many minutes, but it's again a lot of travelling, not a lot of time off. I'd like to see him have the summer off really, but you're never going to turn down your country and getting an injury. You can never, obviously, how can you ever judge that? You know, you never plan to get injured, so it's not really his fault. But yeah, I think Martinelli's place is really under pressure, to be honest, and it's a shame because, well, he must be another player like almost Theo Walcott that plays on confidence. You know, I was like that as a player. I mean, a lot of footballers are, but some of them, like Haaland, obviously, I know he's a complete world apart, but they don't play on confidence. They just know they're good enough. They've got that arrogance to know that they can go out there and perform. And hopefully we'll see Martinelli getting back to his best form soon. I'd like to see him get another game, but I would completely understand if Trossard comes in after the performance he put in such a short space of time. There was another part in the first half as well where Villa got in down the left-hand side and they tried pulling the ball back, and Raya's vision to see it, for one, and two, his agility to get there with one hand, pluck the ball out of the air, bring it, gather it in. Fantastic. That to me pretty much stopped us conceding as well. So it was a very cagey first half. Both teams had chances, and it was a very tactical affair, which I'd expect from both Arteta and Emre sides, to be honest. They're both very tactical managers. You know, that have planned and studied and literally just prepared in such depth for this game, and you could see that in the first half. So moving on to the second half, again it was a very cagey start, but again that comes down to the tactical side of things. You know, we got on the ball at times, they got on the ball at times. We done well to ride the storm, to be honest, and then obviously that leads on to the save that I mentioned. So this to me is probably up there with David Seaman's save against Sheffield United, if not maybe better, because Seaman's is complete reactions and he does so well to lean and claw it out of his goal. Whereas with Raya, he's caught out by the deflection. I think he just about gets fingertips on it to put it onto the bar from Onana's effort. Now, he hits the deck and he's not got almost barely any time to get up, let alone get up and see what's happening, you know. So in that situation, I think he does incredibly well to get up and get such a strong hand on Watkins. And it's unlucky from Watkins in a sense. And if you've played up front or played football, sometimes the hardest ones are the ones you should score because you already think you've scored. Like in your mind, you think, right, that's 1-0. And I think he had a little bit of that about him, that little bit of complacency of he's planning his celebration before he's actually put the ball in the back of the net. He gets a square header on it rather than like a bit of a flicked header. It kind of needed to come off to the side of his head, in my opinion. But hey, Watkins, you can't fault him. He's a great striker, and David Raya has ultimately pulled out possibly the save of the season in game week 2. So fair play to him. The next thing, there's a corner later on in the second half, just after this. It might have even been the resulting corner, actually. And Onana comes running in from this corner from about 20 yards and gets a free header. Now, we know he's massive. He's like 6'5", 6'6", something ridiculous like that. Yeah, all right, he stood outside the box, but surely somebody must be thinking, why is their best header of the ball and their tallest and biggest man so far out of the box? Because he ain't interested in that situation of hanging back, you know? So, to me, we got away with one there as well. If he gets a better header on it, again, that could have been 1-0 Villa. So, this was a big spell of pressure for us. So, the next thing from that second half, there was a chance where Odegaard tries slipping in Saka. To me, I don't know whether he can or not. I'll need to rewatch it a couple of times. But from face value, I think he needs to put a little bit more on that pass. There's a little bit more on that pass. Maybe Saka doesn't have to take that touch around. You know, he takes that touch inside, which in taking that touch allows Martinez to come out and smother the ball. I could be wrong. Don't get it's a fast game. Maybe Odegaard. I mean, he's a fantastic passer of the ball, so maybe he's done everything he can in that situation. Same for Saka. So the common theme of what I was saying about Onana as well was our set pieces. We're pretty poor, to be honest, marking wise. Not attacking, but marking the set pieces. And again, Konsa has an effort that whistles just past the post from his volley. I don't think he can do much more. Maybe another player of an attacking sense in that position maybe scores, but you don't know. So then, 65th minute, I think it was, comes around. Trossard comes on for Martinelli. Literally with his first touch, scores a goal. And what a goal it was as well. Like, it's such a great team goal, you know, which he's so alert. For a man that's just come on the pitch, getting up to speed in a game is always hard, let alone it must be ridiculous in the Premier League with how fast the pace is. And he just reads it so well. He just runs straight onto the ball and doesn't give up on it. You know, it comes across the box through a crowd of people. No one really reacts but Trossard. So yeah, the build-up, fantastic. And he's like almost our answer to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my opinion. So yeah, fantastic for Trossard and for us. At the time, I was thinking, if we go on to win this game, and I know it's only game week 2, but to me, it's a massive psychological thing for the boys at the club. If we win this game, I was thinking, then we've turned a corner, you know, because they've done us twice last year. And although both games could have gone either way, it's those games that kind of set the precedent for your season so early on. And we've come out of it with 3 points. And that should give us confidence moving forward that we can go away, which is the other big thing. We were at Villa Park. We can go away and get these 3 points when we need it against almost anyone. Whether it's the same when we go to Anfield and the Etihad and Old Trafford and places like that. Stamford Bridge is yet to be seen, but hopefully it's a good sign of things to come. And then not long after that, we obviously got another goal, which the work rate from the boys, Saka, Odegaard and Havertz, was fantastic. I can't fault them. And then, of all people, Thomas Partey gets the goal, which thoroughly deserved. He had a much quieter second, well, not quieter, but he wasn't as good second half. He was getting caught out. Morgan Rogers was giving him the run around a bit. But overall, that's still, I think, one of the better games he's had in an Arsenal shirt. And, you know, the finish caps it off. So, yeah, very, very well deserved. For Thomas Partey, to be fair. Odegaard definitely should have made it 3. Again, very uncharacteristic from him. You'd expect him just to caress that into the goal. But I think he's got it in his mind that the Aston Villa defender's coming in and he's going to get clattered, which again can put you off from a player's point of view. So, fair play. The recovery challenge by Saliba towards the end of the game, you know the one I mean. He comes absolutely horsing it back out of nowhere, comes across to cover as well. So it's not even like he's chased his man. He's come across from his position to get across to cover. And not only does he get the block in, but David Raya makes another fantastic save. But I love the passion, you know. That is what I've always wanted to see from Arsenal in many years. And to see him celebrate that tackle was just, it was superb. Fantastic. For me, he was man of the match. And last but not least, a little bit of fun. Konsa confusing Calafiori for a Doris that he might have been trying to pull on a night out because he didn't want to let him go, did he? If you remember what I mean, right at the end of the game. Again, bit of fisticuffs, had a little bit of a cuddle. I'm sure you can do better than that, Konsa, you know. Just because he's got long hair doesn't make him assault. So yeah, that's that. Massive win, massive 3 points early on. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Catch me for the next one. Like, share and subscribe. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.